Okay, Granny will talk.
Oh.
I had, I made a petition to review subject matter jurisdiction, and I got told that because I didn't have standing in the case, I couldn't.
You don't.
What?
You don't. You don't petition anything. Petition means to beg. You're coming in as a beggar. So when you petition, you got to understand that to be a petition, you're a petitioner. You're a beggar. You don't have no rights. Like if you folks want to say like sovereign and stuff like that, oh yeah, I don't mind that. I don't. If you folks want to use that, because I'd rather say that you're a sovereign than saying that you're a petitioner. Because at least a sovereign, you're saying, well, you believe that you have some sort of rights granted to you by some superior being or something. That's fine. But the petition, no, that's what it is. It's literally, it means a formal written request to a superior earthly being. Okay, and I pulled that right out of my dictionary, and that's from the early 15th century. So I must have got that from probably Bouvier's, or I got that from Webster's. So what it is you're running a request to a superior. So I don't request anything. I order them or I require them to do something, because when you require them to do something, you're demanding something by right or by law. So you could say you could address it like as you can require somebody to do something, but no, I'd never petition. Petition is a legalese word. Petition is it's a prayer. You're praying. Like would God pray to you, or do you pray to God?
Okay.
So right, you got to go. So go on with your story, but I just wanted to jump on you just because a million people, well, not a million people listen. Everybody's listening. And if you go on about a petition, they're going to visualize a petition in their head, and I'm going to bash petition nonsense and try to get it out of people's heads. So go ahead. You said you filed a petition for what?
To review subject matter jurisdiction.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, but I got told that I didn't have standing in the case, so I couldn't. But anybody can challenge subject matter jurisdiction.
But it wasn't your case.
Huh?
It wasn't your case.
No, it wasn't.
Were you the moving party?
No.
Then you have no standing. Your role gets defined by the person who's moving the claim. You're defined as, like I said, explained to people a million times. You heard me on Angela's show explaining what a case is, like a suitcase of packing clothes. You're just an accoutrement inside of somebody else's case. That bow tie can't object that you're being packed in its case. It can't object. It does no standing. It's the same thing when I say, well, like a casing, if you want to go where casing was. Actually, a case is a carcass, like a meat carcass, like a skin of an animal, or the intestines of what are they, packing sauces, casing. So you're just the ingredients in somebody's case. You've got to make your own claim and say, somebody's trying to drag me into their case. I have no clue who this person is, where they come from, how they believe I'm engaged with them, how they believe I'm joined. I have no clue how they believe they have. But you want to use a fancy, silly word like subject matter jurisdiction, you just go right ahead. But I'm just saying I have no clue who that is and why they're doing what they're doing to me, and I order them to stop now. See, that's high right. Can I talk like a lawyer? Oh, you bet. Why would I? It makes no sense. Talk common, talk simple, talk plain. That's what you need to do. You need to establish your own claim, and you need to say that you need to order that person to cease and desist immediately.
Well, wasn't I establishing my own claim when I challenged subject matter jurisdiction in a case?
No, not your case. What's your role defined in that case? And like I said,
right.
let's put this out here for a second. Let's say you got an attorney, right? Where does his obligations and duties and priority lie? In defending you? Is that when you get an attorney, that's what his duty is? Is his duty is to his defendant, or is his duty first and solely to the court? His first duty lies with the court. Whose court is it? Who's ever moving the case through it? Like I'm Karl Lentz. In the Lentz case, all the attorneys are obligated to abide by my rules. Even if there's a defendant, they still have to abide by my rules. Maybe they object to my rules and they can bring an objection on behalf of their client to my attention. That's fine. And maybe I will modify the rules, maybe not. But this is my turn to say how we're going to play baseball today, and we're going to go third base, second base, first base. I paid $350 to be on this field, in this venue, and these are the rules. If you don't like it, sue me. You file a claim, and you say, no, you're crazy. We're going to go on first base, second base, third base. Right. You know what? Now we got a controversy. Lovely. Let's get this before the jury. Let the jury decide. Whose rules are crazy, whose rules aren't. The jury will decide. Law is really simple. There's really nothing that amazing to this stuff. But, yeah, I think that's a pretty simple answer.
Doesn't the law say that anybody can challenge subject matter jurisdiction at any time?
Whose law? The good old boys, the membership clause, the union card-carrying bar member association card. Is that where you're reading this from? Are you reading it down in a written book somewhere that they publish and they copyright and they trademark and regulate and they determine who practices it and who doesn't and who gets the license to say it and who gets observed in court? Is that the law that you're relying upon to save you? It's kind of silly to rely upon them when they want to bury you, when they want to see you in a box. They'd be no more happy than seeing you at Great Bar Motel for the rest of your life. That's the people you want to depend on to move in you and protecting you? Is that what you want? Or you want maybe a fireman to help you, or maybe a policeman? You really want a lawyer, and you really want these guys to do this for you? You really want to go by their rules? And you think you're going to ever get in, and you think they're ever going to give you a fair deal? Is that what you really, truly believe?
Okay, then why don't, because you thoroughly confused me. Why don't you tell me how I challenge subject matter jurisdiction? Because you've lost me.
So, first you give them fair warning that they better stop doing what they're doing. That they're trying to drag you into some building. That they're getting summonses issued, and they keep dragging your body into that building for some reason. Tell them stop.
No, wait a second. I'm talking about a case that's long done, and
you didn't tell me. You gave me a question, and you did not tell me any background on the case whatsoever.
Well, I tried, but you went off on a tangent on telling me about stuff.
You said you want a petition for review of subject matter jurisdiction. I said, you're wasting your time. Now, if you said to me, this is a family matter, or this is divorce, or this is bankruptcy, or this is IRS.
I never got a chance to tell you that.
When folks call up, you have to say, call. This is a matter pertaining about divorce or IRS.
Okay.
But you just stepped in the middle of the story. I'm just guessing at this point. So what was the beginning? What is this case about?
Okay. Now, before you want to tell me something, can I tell you the whole thing?
Well, not the whole thing, but you can tell me what is this? Is family law, tax law? What is this?
It's family law, okay? And I'm trying to regain my granddaughter.
No.
Now, the court took my granddaughter, but they took her under the wrong thing, okay? And so they didn't have subject matter jurisdiction. So I thought that I have learned that subject matter jurisdiction can be challenged by anyone at any time.
That's true.
Okay? That's what I was doing. But I got told I didn't have standing in the case. So
okay. Ma'am, you got $1 million. Guess what? You're getting those grandbabies back tomorrow. Okay? Everybody who listens to these calls, we're very cynical people. We all know the ins and outs of these courts, and we all know what's going on. We all know that if you were Donald Trump, that grandbaby would be bouncing on your knee right now, right, ma'am?
Yes.
You Barack Obama.
I'm not rich.
If you were Barack Obama, maybe would be bouncing on your knees right now. But according to this system that they got set up right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So obviously, this isn't going to work because we're beating our heads into the walls. So guess what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to say, hey, what is another source of law that we can rely upon that we can actually clobber these guys? Thank God somebody back in 1776-ish wrote that we have the right to move any claim, and that if it's a controversy more than $20, the United States courts and its government cannot get involved with our claims. There you go. There's only 3 rights written into the Constitution. It's in Article 1, Section 10. The right to not have the government interfere with contracts, which is 100% of what we do every day when we walk out of our front doors. We contract. So they can't have any right to do anything to do with us. And then the other one is for the other 2 rights is no ex post facto laws and no bill of attainder, that we can't be held liable for our grandfather's acts. And no ex post facto laws are saying that, well, if we were caught smoking cigarettes, it's a death penalty. And ex post facto means, well, anybody who has ever smoked a cigarette in the past also immediately gets an execution. So there's only 3 rights established in the Constitution. If you want to talk about the Bill of Rights, that's fine. But I'm telling you, this very simple concept is nobody has the right to interfere with our right to contract. So anything that we do basically in public is a contract. We're engaging with somebody else. Anytime we meet somebody and say something, we're engaged now. It's some sort of a meeting of the minds. We're talking, we're engaging, we're doing something. You tell them to bring that contract forward. It gives them the right to take your child, take your property. Let them produce that contract. It's all based on, this is all contract law in this country. And once you're holding in common law, the only person who can come forward is a man or a woman. Has standing. Oh, gee, guess what? You don't have standing in their court? Gee, how do you think they're going to feel when you open up a common law court on them and they're an attorney? And you say to them, oh, gee, the person in the black robe, well, I think I hear something speaking from the other side. Well, yes, that's an attorney. Does this attorney has any first-hand knowledge of any of the events that transpired during this transaction, during any of these events that they're trying to bring forward to the court? And the judge will say to the person, do you? It's like, no. Then you have no standing. Sit down and shut up. And the guy in the black robe will tell the attorney to sit down and shut up because they have no standing. No standing is a lovely thing. It's a wonderful thing. You're getting beat over the head with it right now because you're in inferior court. When you move them over to the common law court in this country, they have no standing. How are they going to like it? So once I can get everybody to understand, look, read the 7th Amendment. What does it say? All matters in controversy over $20. Well, these kids are worth more than $20. All matters can be heard by the trial by jury under the common law. Whatever is customary to you people. Grandma should get the kid, definitely. Everybody in that neighborhood believes that. God bless you. If you live in a nice neighborhood, I wish I lived there too. That's the common law of the people who live within that society, within that community. You're going to get the 12 jury members to say, so be it. Anybody on the other side that speaks, that's an attorney, he has no standing. And that's what I keep telling you guys. Watch that Richard Cornsforth video. He makes 3 videos. It's kind of long, but he keeps explaining it, beating into your head that attorneys have no standing in a common law court. And that's why it's beating to you guys' head. It says www.uscourts.gov on the 4th page. All state courts are common law courts. How much simpler do I got to do if you people say, oh, you're totally confusing me now? Confusing me with what? All state courts are common law courts. In common law courts, attorneys can't testify, they can't motion the court, they can't move the court, they can't ask the court for summary judgment, they can't produce any facts or evidence before the court unless they have first-hand knowledge to it and they're competent witnesses. And they're not. You know what? In a common law court, an attorney is not competent. You want a competency hearing for an attorney in a common law court? Go for it. How you prove he's competent or not? Was he there when it happened? Yes or no? If he was, then he's competent. Being non-competent in a statutory court is a lovely thing. That's right, I am totally incompetent in a statutory court. Why? I don't know your codes, I don't know your rules, I don't know any of this nonsense. I'm not competent. Totally incompetent. I'm a total idiot. I have no clue what you're doing. I'm dragging this over to the common law side. Because honestly, I don't know where you're going. You're losing me. So see what you're doing, Granny. You embedded your brain so hard into learning all of their rules and all of their customs and all of their practices. And I'm telling you, 90% of their language is identical with ours. They took like 10 words, well, 10% of their words, and they flip it upside down. So you could swear you're saying competent means intelligent, when competent really just means standing. Well, you think competent means that you know what's going on, and competent means do they have the capacity to control you. If you're incompetent, they have no control over you. They lose jurisdiction over you. So why in God's name would you want to be competent in their court? But everybody screams, oh, I'm competent. And Granny says, I'm a competent woman. Okay, go ahead. Then bind yourself into any order that this kind of black robe issues to you. But you said you understand what they're doing. And he said, I'm totally confusing. Right, because you want to be a lawyer in the worst way possible. You're studying all this lawyer stuff, and you're mastering their language, and you're studying their law books, and you're really getting it good, you're getting further and further and further and further away from the common law. You're getting further and further and further away from the people. You're getting further and further and further away from God. And that's their whole objective. The more they can confuse you and trick you, the more that they're accomplishing. It's that simple. There's nothing amazing about law. I have no idea how this show that I do goes on. I have no idea. Everybody just doesn't listen a couple times. Oh my God, I got it. So it's kind of weird that I can't see it from your people's point of view why this is so hard for me to explain. Because, like I said, I was raised this way my whole life, so it's so simple for me to see it. So, like I said, if you want to play the silly, lawyer games, go for it. You guys would make great lawyers. Lawyers have a great place in society, like they're doing like real estate or wills or international import, exports. That's great. They want to do mineral rights and stuff. They're lovely people. They want to help Coca-Cola merge with Pepsi. That's lovely. But they've extended to such an extent that they believe now we can start messing with the people. And the people are just tolerating it. And hopefully, I'm thinking that they push the people just a little too far. And then maybe the people start looking for another alternative other than running to a lawyer and thinking he's going to get something from a lawyer. If he's not Donald Trump, he knows he's not going to get anything except empty wallet. And you can't move under their cases because you're just going to get ground up and spit out. You got no standing. They don't recognize you. You're not a card-carrying member of the union. Like I tried to explain earlier with the union member. You're not a union member. They're not going to let you go to General Motors and, put one lug nut on a car tire. You can't work here. They're not recognizing you. Go get an attorney. You got no standing.